الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح والله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
الحمد لله وحده والصلاة والسلام على من لا نبي بعده أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وقال تعالى في الكلام المجيد والفرقان الحميد كنتم خير أمة أخرجت للناس تأمرون بالمعروف وتنهون عن المنكر وتؤمنون بالله بارك الله لنا ولكم في القرآن الكريم ونفعنا وإياكم بالآيات والذكر الحكيم أستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. My dear respected brothers and elders and sisters, everything has its price. Everything has its price. What would be the worth or the price of a product or thing that has been chosen by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Under this roof, under the skies, anyone who is saying kalima la ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah is handpicked by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. According to the hadith of Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam, there is no Nabi after Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Similarly, there is no Ummah after Rasulullah, Ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Before anything was created, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said these verses that I just recited, that you have been sent out, more or less meaning of this ayah that I just recited, that you have been sent out for the benefit of the mankind. Why? Because you call people towards good and you stop them from evil. Right? In Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam also, Ma'ruf hadith, he says, Ballighu anni walau aya. More or less, tell others what good you know. So my topic, the theme of my khutbah is Ballighu anni walau aya. My dear respected brothers and elders, if we ponder, if we read the seerah of Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because of him, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given the status of this ummah that no one else had before us. Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam has to enter into paradise before all the other Anbiya. Similarly, each and every ummati of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has to enter into paradise before the ummah of other Anbiya alayhi salatu wasalam. This is the ummah that Anbiya like Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salam is telling salam, say my salam to your ummah at the seventh sky at Miraj. He is sending us salam from the seventh heavens, seventh sky. Wa alaikum salam. And Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam is mentioning to Sahaba, salam to my brothers, according to one hadith. And Sahaba is surprised. They say, are we? No, you are my Sahabi. My brothers are those who haven't seen me and yet say kalma la ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. Right? Every amal that Allah has given to this ummah of Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is nothing but success. If there is any obstacle, we remove it. Ibadah, because Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam has done it, has said it. We give a smile to another Muslim brother, is a sadaqah. And Allah knows what is the amount of that sadaqah is. How big that sadaqah will be in our amal. You look at your parents, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala opened the doors of Jannah. Look at the feet of your mothers. Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is saying, the Jannah lies under the feet of your mother. Your father makes a dua for you, my father makes a dua for me. Goes to arsh of Allah without any obstacles. And then, if you ponder over the ayah that I said, Kuntum khaira ummatin, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, way before He created anything, any universe, He has given us this task. He has chosen us for this task. Before even we came into the womb of our mothers. Right? But a time comes that this person, all of us, we all have to go back to Allah, and a time comes when people around us are saying, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Time of death comes. His job is over the moment he takes the last breath. And Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, when he was about to take his last breath, he is asking Malikul Maut, that I'm having pain, well, my ummah has to go through the same pain, and he is saying, Oh Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, I'll be very gentle with them. Right? The moment who is passing this world, taking his last breath, according to the hadith, he has a beautiful smile on his face. So, when he is in his grave, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes illuminate his grave also. Make his grave pit of Jannah, garden of Jannah, right? But I want to mention you where we have to be very careful for this ummati of Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, man or woman, slave of Allah, who has done his job, her job, all her life, all his life. There is a point where we have to be very careful. How? When somebody dies, some of you know that I work for the funeral home. And trust me, I'm not here to promote any funeral home or downgrade anyone. Everyone is doing the best they can to serve the community. And mashallah, we have 4 or 5 funeral homes and 4 or 5 cemeteries. 2 are owned by the Muslims alone. So what happens is, when a person takes the last breath, according to the books, professionally, it becomes human remains. Like it becomes mayyat for us. The father who just passed away, he became a mayyat. In the books, he became human remains. Those who are in shipment businesses, when a deceased is shipped to a different country from America, and the invoice says human remains. When we take them to the airport, to the cargo, it says human remains, human remains, human remains. When a person dies, and the families are calling 911, they are very trained, very educated, good customer service, they help the families out, from the bottom of their heart, because they know a family just lost a loved one. Anyone they are sending you at your home for your comfort, they are all very trained people. But professionally, they are dealing with the human remains, but they are there to give comfort to the family who just lost a loved one, right? What happens is, when there's a death in the family, in the house, family person are the first ones, then the hospice nurse, then paramedics, then fire department, then police officers, then medical examiner, then comes the funeral home. Calling funeral home doesn't solve everything. Calling funeral home doesn't solve everything. It does, But there is a point that I want to make here. When you're calling 911 and reporting the situation at the home with your loved one, make sure you use the term privacy of the deceased. Privacy of the deceased. And you need the same gender of any agency who's coming into your house, fire department, medical examiner, sheriffs, police officers, anyone who walks in, must have the same gender of the person. If there's a woman, mother, sister, daughters, then there should be a lady from that department also walking into your house. If there's a father, brother, male, then one male should be there. If you are doing this, and also there's one, because of shortage of time, I'm trying to, just going through the points. Mention toe tags and the hand tags for the verification of the record, medical record. What happens is, when the police officers are there, the family should tell them that anywhere this loved one will go, please make sure that no one see more than the hand tags and the toe tags. It's very important. And police officers, when they come, they make report also. When you are calling 911, we all know that it is recorded. Calls are recorded. No matter what you say to them, every call is recorded. So you are officially, whatever you are requesting is official. That you are requesting privacy of the deceased is important for you. You need same gender, at least one person from each department if they have to come, because you don't have any consent from the deceased, how they have to be released. Medical examiners, if the police officer finds out anything suspicious, he has to call medical examiner to find out the cause of death, right? So walk up to the police officers and tell them, for the privacy of the deceased, please let the medical examiner know, do not expose more than the hand tags and the toe tags. To the funeral homes also, when we go pick up. Hospitals the same. When you are at the hospital, anyone who dies, your chances of keeping the privacy of the deceased intact, if the hospital allows you to release the body from the rooms. Because if they send to the morgue, they have admin, could be male or female, and then they have additional security officers of the hospital. They have to release with the medical staff to the funeral home. If we are not cautious about hand tags and the toe tags, exposure of those, what happens is, this is very important, that in their professional minds, they are dealing with the human remains. We as Muslims, male and female privacy is important to us, right? We don't expose. When we go there, we cover everything. Male or female, we cover everything. In the homes, everywhere. We request the families to do that for us. So we are dealing with the ummati of Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, whether male or female, right? So their dignity, their honor, their respect, everything is top of the head. They are crown of our head. Now what happens is, if the person releasing the body with the hospital staff, if he is not mindful of his duty, and they open the bag, chances are no clothes on it. And I would like to request any doctor or nurse from the hospital or the clinics, if your policy allows you, please mention this on your reports. Do not expose more than the hand tags and the toe tags when the time of release comes, because you don't have anything signed by the patient how to be released to the anybody, from the room to the transport staff, from transport to morgue to funeral homes. You see what I mean? So this is very important to keep the privacy of the deceased intact. In the medical examiner office, when we go pick up, professionalism comes with our religious practices. What is that? And my wife is a witness of that. She is Alima and Hafiza. She has taught kids here, the girls and the ladies, Quran. I took her one time. It was a high profile pickup that I had to do, service. And that was a lady. So I called my wife and I just took her, explained her everything in the car. When I got there, I ran into a situation. Normally I ran into in my 8 years, I have run into this situation multiple times. Female is releasing male, male releasing female, and we are having argument. They are saying we are professionals. I have to tell them I'm a professional Islamic funeral home. So I took my wife there. Same thing happened. The male staff is releasing the female, and I knew what will happen, so I stopped him. Like I've stopped the police officers releasing the body from the medical examiners, nurses, like I've told you. So I stopped him. He said, I'm a professional. I said, you are a professional, but she is a professional too. We are Islamic professional funeral home. So take her permission if she allows you. Obviously, she said no. Then she asked for the lady tag. He had to arrange lady tag. He faced his face on this side, I faced my face on that side. Both of these ladies, they verified the details. So this is what happens officially, legally in medical examiners' offices also. There is no law right now. It depends on the policies of the hospitals. Even if you ask anyone, they think that hospital takes care of that, but they are so busy in their professions, they are short of staff, could be anything. But if you are there, request them humbly, nicely, and they will work with you because they know the family just lost a loved one. So they try to accommodate you. And you have already made a report on number of places, you have requested the same. You request the same to the admin of the hospital, and I have done it. I went to pick up in one of the big cancer hospital, famous hospital. I told the admin the situation that we go through in the morgue. She said, before I leave my shift this morning, I'll send an email to higher authorities. Wallahi, next day Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent me to the same hospital, same morgue, and the lady security officer came and told me, are you so and so funeral home? I said, yes. She said, we have been instructed when you guys come, we have to make sure that we are using the same gender of the officers as of the deceased. So this happens only when you are aware enough, when you are educated enough. Do not depend only on funeral home. We come last. You are the first responder in this case, family and friends. You are the first responders. I have covered this. Now, embalming. If anybody wants to ship the loved ones outside America, embalming is required by law. Shipment law, international, by air. If you have to ship, that has to be done. They put formaldehyde in the body with a lot of other chemicals. It makes it solid, like a stone. So it's your choice whether you send them there or not. A lot of chemicals in the body, it makes it solid. In mortuaries, where the bodies go, deceased go for embalming, for suturing after the autopsy is done, request your funeral homes. They are all equipped. They can all manage to have this service done under their own roof where the privacy could remain intact. Most of the people, those who do embalming and suturing and all that, they are non-Muslims. And they listen to the music while performing. I caught one of them. I can tell you the song he was listening. But this is what happens if the funeral homes is not careful enough. So request your funeral homes to do all the things under their own roof where they can keep the privacy intact. And I tell you, I took one sister, she was not even 20 years old, for embalming to ship it out. When I went to pick her up, the embalmer was a female, minimum 45 years old, non-Muslim, but female, professional, very good, very smart. When she saw me, she said, I have never seen such a beautiful girl in my life. You are wise enough to connect the dots. That's why it's very important to have embalming and everything done in our own facilities, whosoever you choose. We are 4 or 5 in Houston alone. All this that I'm sharing with you is happening in Houston. What about the places where there's no funeral home and there's no cemetery and still Muslims are dying in small cities? They have to rely on others. So if you come to know, then relay this message nicely to them so that they can also save, protect the privacy of their loved ones. But please do not put it on social media, I don't know how the people will react to it. So this is, and since March I'm doing these khutbahs. My last khutbah in this masjid was in Ramadan. And one of my funeral director, 2 weeks ago, he came and said, I am seeing some changes, because he goes and pick up Muslim loved ones also. He said, I'm seeing some changes. So Alhamdulillah, all this effort that, which is going on for last 8 years and now through the khutbah is bringing changes in their, in their practices. Some of the families from this very masjid has told me that we heard your khutbah, it helped us. So Alhamdulillah, it's working out. Now, burial. Shortly, brothers, those who are getting married as interfaith, Muslims are marrying non-Muslims before they come into Islam. Read the last khutbah of Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Take care of your spouses, your wives, right? In America, if the spouse says, we want cremation, your mother, your father, your funeral home cannot do anything. You have to go take the permission from the court to do that Islamically. Otherwise, he can get you cremated. So be nice to them. Right? Yeah, that's a fear I have too. And if those who are coming into Islam, most of them, their families around them are not Muslims. They must take something in writing, must prepare them for, if the time comes, you are giving me a Muslim burial and funeral. If you know somebody who is living alone, tell them to stay connected with someone, because sometimes police have to go and break the doors and get the body out, and it's been like 10 days, 20 days, decomposed. So these are the things that we all have to understand. It's not just call funeral home and things are done. Our mashayikh, our shuyukh should take this funeral, what should be done in funerals and how to do burials and all that, because we have a lot of practices, Sunni, Shafi'i, Maliki, Deobandi, Barelvi, this and that. In some, when a spouse dies, relationship ended. In some, a spouse wants to give a ghusl to his or her spouse. You see what I mean? So these things have to be addressed before time. This is summer. I would personally request all the parents, those who have kids going 15, 16 years old, send them to the funeral home as training to learn how to give ghusl to your loved ones. For boys, I would request them, learn how to say Salatul Janazah for your loved one. Sisters, young sisters should learn how to give ghusl to their loved ones, their mothers, sisters, daughters, anyone, all have to go. So learn that. Make it part of our curriculums. If it is not there, it should be part of our curriculum, because we all have to die once. And we should learn, the reason I'm telling all this, that we should give a proper respect and protect. So let me repeat, privacy of the deceased is important, same gender is important, toe tags and hand tags for the medical verification purposes. Tell the police officers to write in the report. Call 911, tell them this. It's legal. You are legally requesting everyone. Take the number of the person from the funeral home who is picking up. Oh, Bilal is going to pick up. Okay, give me his number. Or tell him, do not let anyone expose more than the hand tags and the toe tags. If anybody doesn't listen to you, have them call us. So you are basically helping us, funeral homes around the globe. In America, Canada, Australia, wherever there is a professionalism and courtesy, and customer service. So inshallah, if I'll stay after the salah. If you have any comment or anything you want to ask that I haven't covered, feel free to ask me, inshallah. One more thing. We bring our ladies to the graveyards, cemeteries. Some of the brothers, those who have married to the, non-Muslims, please educate them before you bring them, because I have seen they brought them in a short skirts, no sleeves. And air came, the Imam is making dua, and guess what happened? So this is all part of our education. Our kids have to learn what is right and what is wrong. If we don't train them ahead of time, they will think that that is Islam also. So please be very careful, take it seriously. And we are all questioned. The reason we give ghusl, because the mayyat cannot get up and do tahara for themselves, right? That's why we help them. That's why we take them to the shoulder, right? So we take their decisions on their behalf. And when you are calling funeral home, you are calling Islamic funeral home, so it has to be Islamic. So we all have to learn that. What is Islamic about it? You can ask Shaykh whether it's sunnah to put zamzam on the mayyat while you are putting them in the grave. For some it is okay, for some it is haram. People fight over the qabr, standing right on top of the qabr. Funeral homes are there to facilitate what you ask us to do. We cannot dictate you Sharia over there, we cannot establish Sharia over there because it will be a big fight. So please learn this before ahead of time. Ask the ulama. You have a lot of shuyukh. You have a lot of shuyukh here in this masjid, in town, in the whole city. Ask them to have special lectures about it. Alhamdulillah, nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu wa nu'minu bihi wa natawakkalu alayhi wa na'udhu billahi min shururi anfusina wa min sayyiati a'malina man yahdihillahu fala mudilla lahu wa man yudlil fala hadiya lahu. Wa nashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu wa nashhadu anna sayyidana maulana wa maulana Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu arsalahu bil haqqi bashiran wa nadhira. Amma ba'd, a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Inna Allaha wa malaikatahu yusalluna 'alan nabi. يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على محمد عبدك ورسولك وصل على المؤمنين والمؤمنات والمسلمين والمسلمات وبارك على سيدنا محمد وأزواجه وذريته. قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم أرحم أمتي بأمتي أبو بكر الصديق وأشهدهم في أمر الله عمر وأصدقهم حياء عثمان وأغضاهم علي رضوان الله تعالى عليهم أجمعين. إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. أقيموا الصلاة. The Sheikh Mufti, please.
الله أكبر الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمد رسول الله. حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح. قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة. الله أكبر الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله.
استقيموا واستووا تراصوا واعتدلوا استريتن your line. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. آمين. إذا زلزلت الأرض زلزالها وأخرجت الأرض أثقالها وقال الإنسان ما لها يومئذ تحدث أخبارها بأن ربك أوحى لها. يومئذ يصدر الناس أشتاتا ليروا أعمالهم فمن يعمل مثقال ذرة خيرا يره ومن يعمل مثقال ذرة شرا يره. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. والعاديات ضبحا فالموريات قدحا فالمغيرات صبحا فأثرن به نقعا فوسطن به جمعا إن الإنسان لربه لكنود وإنه على ذلك لشهيد وإنه لحب الخير لشديد أفلا يعلم إذا بعثر ما في القبور وحصل ما في الصدور إن ربهم بهم يومئذ لخبير. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. استغفر الله.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We say Jazakumullah khair, brother, for the beautiful reminders during the khutbah about a very important topic, our funerals and preparation for that, inshallah. Very few announcements today, alhamdulillah. It's light art classes by the Islamic Arts Society on Saturday, July 27th will take place between the 11 o'clock to 3 p.m. So if you have any interest in Islamic art or your children, we encourage you to register. There will be more information on the bulletin board. But I think it will be very value add. Weekend Islamic School, registration deadline is July 31st. Seats are filling up quickly. Once we have exceeded the capacity, there won't be any opportunities to register your children. So please act now. Sisters program, Know Yourself, on Saturday, August 3rd from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. More information again will be on our website and our social media. The 11th Islamic Art Festival will be in the University of Houston this year. It will not take place as it took place in our masjid for the last 10 years as a factor of many reasons, but inshallah ta'ala November 9th and 10th, let's intend to participate. Jazakumullah khair. Please continue to contribute to support your masjid. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.